I really enjoy the different speeches and essays and papers that we get to write. Anything where I feel like, I'm doing research for it and I'm doing work that's helping me in my future career.
The class I'm in now, which is campaign and event planning, is pretty beneficial. Just getting to really kind of advertise and promote something to a large group of people, try to say, hey, I'm not selling anything here, come take a look at it. I feel like I've learned a lot from both of those classes.
I really liked the interpersonal communications class. It was a class that I'd never had before. It was a class that was completely different from anything I did have before. Everything was always so science driven and so numbers driven. And this one, it was a big step away. So I guess you could say it was, instead of quantitative, it was a real qualitative class.
In the past, I really haven't been that great of a speaker, but when I take these classes, I feel like it's gonna improve my skills. I want to, learn how to speak to people properly and professionally, and things like that. So
I've taken a couple of the PR classes through Dr. Murphy because I thought that would be beneficial to me in my future career, and I was really interested in what those classes had to offer. And some of his classes, one in particular, a PR class that I took, we did a case study on a company. And we did research on them, we decided their strengths and their weaknesses, and we proposed a campaign for them to do that would kind of help them with their audience and with their customers that they had. So I thought that was really interesting to get to do, professional work inside of the classroom.
I am a very talkative person, so I enjoyed the discussion-based classrooms. One of my favorite classes was interpersonal. That one was taught by Professor Rich Murphy. In that class, I got to talk about everything from like love and breakups and what it means to be a millennial and dating. So that conversation for me was very enlightening. I also loved the persuasion classes with Dr. Gordon, learning how the advertising world works along with the speech program. That was one of my favorite classes ever.
Oh my gosh, don't ask me that. I don't know if I can really pick a class. I think each had characteristics that have helped me get to where I am now, or helped me to develop the skills that I have. If I could say anything, I would just say that I'm grateful for the two teachers that I had, Dr. Betsy Gordon and Professor Richard Murphy. They're amazing.
It's something that you can really sell well to employers. And even now, in this office, when I talk to them about organizational communication, they're like, oh, it's a blend of communication and business? Oh, tell me more. And that every time that piques the employer's interest.
Versatility. I'm able to pretty much operate on any of the spectrum, or on any end of the spectrum of communication, just because I can. Thanks to my major, I could go from as low on the totem pole as where I am now, publicity and promotions, all the way to full-on publicist.
For myself, very much introvert, didn't talk to anyone, so sales was the last thing I would ever look at doing. Without going through the program, the communication classes, the speech classes, I really started to really enjoy it, and really expanded my my prospects to the sales. And the more I learned about sales, fell in love with it, enjoyed it, and that's how I ended up in banking and the sales aspects of banking and going up through there. Just, for me, communication is a strategy for me. I love it. Every day, there's no just getting up and just calling someone on the phone. I'd have a strategic plan in my head ahead of time before, who I'm going after, who I'm speaking with, or what I want to achieve that day.
Teach the public relation course of courses like public relations, PR writing, crisis and communication, social media management, those types of courses. I also teach interpersonal, organizational communication, research methods. So I teach a lot of different courses. I don't know, my teaching styles, I think I'm relatively patient. I like students to sort of discover learning as we go through our talks. I don't like to to preach to them too much, although there's quite a bit of content that we cover. But yeah, I try to be I try to make class fun and engaging. So that's what I would describe my style.
I teach gender and communication during presidential years like this one. I've had campaign communication classes which were great fun this year and quite different. In the past I have taught business and professional and interpersonal, but those are taught by Dr. Murphy now. And I also teach the senior seminar in persuasion.
Well, one of the reasons why it's such an important program is because it's diverse. We offer courses in a lot of different communication concepts and constructs, and so whether it's from public relations to leadership to something as simple as health communication or how we communicate with others in relationships, those types of courses are usually the things that people need to be successful. And so having a strong communication department is critical for that.
I can't think of any major or any job or any career goal where people don't expect you to be able to express yourself. The people who do best in interviews are solid in communication because of a range of courses we offer. So are students who are going into the workplace. They tend to do better in their internships, and it's not uncommon for people to say to us, do you have more communication students who could do this? And most of our interns end up getting jobs because not only do they do the work well, but they express themselves well while they're doing it. And so it makes a better impression when you learn to be comfortable in front of the audience.
So I interned for the O'Fallon Weekly, which was a startup newspaper in my city, and I was the first person hired, so to say. So there's a lot to do, but I was so new to it. I basically just went to places, wrote about stuff, took pictures of people, interviewed some people. So it was a really good experience just to, get my foot in the door, just kind of get a feel for what the field is like.
While here at McKendree, I did one internship that was with Allied Integrated Marketing. However, that organization actually works with the head movie studios, so everybody from Universal to Warner Brothers to Disney. I had the luxury of working with Warner Brothers, STX, and Lionsgate Studios. With that, I was a college ambassador here at McKendree's campus, so I would host events that promoted the movies that we were going to be showing. We actually did a screening in the fall semester for the accountants, so that was something that I could bring the entire McKendree audience into.
Right now, I have a communication internship in Belleville at Caritas Family Solutions. It's a social work agency and it's a communications marketing internship. So I've been able to write press releases. I've helped with some community events that they've done. I've done some social media and marketing research. I've drafted a blog and some different emails for them as well.
I also interned for Mind's Eye Radio in Belleville. It's a radio reading service for the blind, so I actually did have to go on radio a few times. I didn't enjoy that. I enjoy the writing, but I did a lot of writing too, so that was all kinds of marketing, communications things. I enjoyed that much more, but that was along the same lines where I had to interview and collect material, go to events and take pictures, and get to know people in the community that way.
I wanted something that dealt more with people, something that I could either deal with the media, like I had thought about broadcasting, or just building relationships with people in general.
I decided to join the PR program because I had Dr. Murphy in one of his other classes, and he was a really good teacher. He was really understanding when I had a problem, and he seemed like a good professor to run a major. He was very well organized, he was friendly, he was professional, which was a big help. So I decided to switch over from OrgComm.
Okay, so my main focus or main idea of switching to PR was because I like a bunch of different avenues that they have for PR. Like you can do just a general tract, or you can do like media and international studies, stuff like that. And that's what I'm in right now. I'm in the general tract, so I just like the different options you can pick from that. And after you're done with school and stuff, you can, like, there's so many different careers you can do from it. Like, you can be the head of like an organization, marketing, stuff like that. So that's the main reason why I switched to PR.
Well, one of the main reasons, not the whole reason, but one of the main reasons is because I'm not really a big math person. I didn't want to take any math classes. Another reason is I was a sport management major, but I really just kind of lost interest in that because I was doing some volunteer hours with Dr. Erickson's class, and I don't know, I just didn't really like it anymore. I lost interest in it, so I wanted to switch to something I liked.
Students should join the McKendree Communications program, or at least in the department somewhat, because it gives you that avenue to express yourself a little bit more than other majors. Because in this major, there are speech requirements that you do not have in other classes. Like, you may have a speech here and there, a presentation here and there, but in the speech department, you're getting those networking skills, making those connections, and learning actually how to connect with people. And you can't say that about any other major here on McKendree's campus.